Up here in Idaho, been celebrating this man's 90th birthday this past week and the 4th of July. We're up here. I show you guys a lot of the craziness that happens here in the world, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of sanity by speaking with my old man right here, an American legend. Grandpa, introduce yourself to the people.
Am I supposed to say something?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
I'm
We're
okay.
live.
I'm Bruce Shirley, living here in Idaho my whole life on the family farm. It's been a wonderful experience for me to experience what America's all about, really.
That's what it's about. Grandpa, stand up real quick. We'll show them what the barn looks like right here. So my grandpa, he's built this whole entire, everything you see in this video, my grandpa has built, except for that four-wheeler. We're gonna take you guys out to the cows. We got 2 barns out here. We got a house. We got some tractors. Grandpa, tell us about these barns you got right here. We got 2 massive barns out here.
About 50 years ago, I was riding around. I see this barn. I really liked it. It had this gamble type roof with 6 sides to it. I thought I like that. So I come home and I designed my own roof and I built my own buildings. The first one I built was the big one right here. We made a farm shop into it. On the top is a little gymnasium where my wife taught gymnastics to the local girls in the community. And then a few years later, I wanted to build a second barn. I call it my homesteader barn. And I kind of thought maybe the economy might go bad on us, and so I built a little barn there that would have a cow and a pig and you know, whatever you needed, chickens, to sustain yourself if the economy went bad. But thankfully, the economy's been good and we haven't needed to use it.
Economy's been good, and my grandpa's got, how many cows you got out here?
I've got 12 of my own, but I rent to my neighbor, and total we got about 40 head.
So we got about 40 cattle out here right now. We're gonna hop on this four-wheeler right here. We got the Starlink on the front. We're gonna go see what's up with the cattle. All right, let's hop on the four-wheeler, let's go. We also got the brother out here today, and we got the legend, Bruce Shirley. Here we go. Like I said, I typically, on these live streams, we usually go to crazy places or we show crazy things that are happening, but today we're gonna show you guys a little bit of sanity. Speaking with a man who's accomplished the American dream. He's 90 years old, he's sharp as a tack, and he spent a lot of time up here when we were younger, coming out here to the farm, so I thought we'd bring you guys with us here today. And this guy right here has 90 years of wisdom with him, so we dropped some bombs as well. Yes, he's 90 years old. People can't believe you're 90, Grandpa.
I was in the store the other day, and a guy said, he talked about our age. He says, "That's old men." And I says, "Tell you what, I bet you I'm 15 years older than you." And he said, "I'll bet you're not." And I should have bet him money, because I says, "How old are you?" And he said, 74. And I said, "Well, I'm 15 years older than you, I bet you." And he said, No. I said, "Well, I'm 90. And he couldn't believe it. You can leave that open. So I was 16 years older than him. I could have won the bet on 15 years, but I didn't get any money off it. I just had the satisfaction of winning a verbal bet.
Right here's where my grandpa has all the cows ready to come in. You built all this by yourself, right?
Right, I built all this, designed it all so I can sort and work my cattle. It's a one-man operation. I don't have any hired help. I just do everything myself, and I can run them through the chutes and doctor them, brand them, do everything myself at 90 years old.
Yes, sir. People are saying good, clean living out here in Idaho.
Yeah, it's been a good life, actually. This farm that we're on has been in my family since 1898, when my grandfather migrated up here and bought some land from the original homesteader, and it's been in the family ever since. So that would make it, what, 127 years it's been in our family.
Whoa.
So,
how many acres do you got out here?
They're just shy of 100, about 97, I think, is on this farm right now. So
now we're going out to see the cattle.
It's all surface irrigated. We have irrigation canals that I get water from. I do all the irrigating myself. And I don't know, it's just a good area to live in.
My grandpa almost died the other night irrigating the water, going out and opening up the water. Fell into the ditch.
Yeah, For years and years, I've worried about falling into the canal, you know, the big canal that supplies the water to the farm, and well, just last week, I think a week ago tonight, I went up to shut the water out, and I stepped on the bank, and the bank gave way. I fell into the canal. It was only about 4 feet deep. Oh, there's the cattle way over there.
Okay, let's go see where the cattle at.
Yeah, they bed down right here. You can see where they bed down.
Someone said, damn, it's hard to believe he's 90. He looks like he's 65 or 70.
Well, that's what the guy that wanted to bet me in the store, he was 74. He says, I'll bet you I'm older than you. And when I told him I was 90, he says, I was guessing you in your late 60s or early 70s. He thought I was lying to him at first, I think.
Somebody says, what was the first car you ever had, Grandpa?
It was a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
A Volkswagen Beetle.
How'd you fit in the Beetle?
Well, that's what we called them, Volkswagen Beetles. They had that odd shape on them, like a beetle of some kind, you know, like some little bug, you know. They refer to them as the bug car because they got the shape of a bug, you know. So anyway.
Let's see, where are the cattle at?
They're right up here. They string out. They're strung out all over here. They got plenty of good feed, as you can see. We're riding through some pretty nice grass. I can handle more cattle than I got, but when it quits growing, they'll eat it all.
Will they eat all this grass? It's
yeah,
pretty high right now.
By November, they'll have it mostly all eaten. Yeah. It quits growing along in September.
Do you think I'll be able to hop on the back of a cow?
If you can get close enough to it, but I don't think you can get close enough to them. They're a little skittish of people. They're not used to people on foot.
Maybe we'll try to spank one on the butt.
In fact, they're a little skittish of seeing more than just one person at a time. I never have people come out here, and so when they see 3 of us, they're going to look a little bit excited. Look at them right now, looking at us. What on earth is coming at us? These 2 cows right ahead of us are cows that belong to me. Well, there's 3 of them right here together that all belong to me. The white-faced cows all belong to me.
Oh yeah, we got all of them out here. Look at this.
Yeah, they're strung out across here. So,
yeah. All right, we got the brother out here as well.
Oh, you want me to go hop on it?
Go hop on it. All right, let's see. We got Matt right here. Let's see if you can hop on.
Yeah, they'll turn and run.
You got M17 on these things.
That's my neighbor's brand. That M7 is my neighbor's brand. See on the back of that cow's hip? You see it?
Here we go.
You see an S6? Okay. Yeah, you'll never get close enough to get on one. I'll tell you that.
Maybe corner him in. Somebody said, how many illegal migrants do you have working on your farm, Grandpa?
Nobody. I run the whole farm myself.
He's an independent man out here.
When I get help out here, they create more work than they solve, so I just do everything myself.
Oh, Grandpa.
Yeah.
All right, now we're getting close to him. Let's see. It looks like we're in like the safari land, how high this grass is.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice feed for them, actually.
This is a really good feed for them out here. We got somebody from London watching us today.
Really?
All the way out in London.
My ancestors come from England. I have English ancestry.
Oh, yeah.
The Shirley name is an English name.
Oh, there we go. Look at it move. Look at it move. Look at it move.
I got to cross the ditch here, so we'll have to get a straight run at it.
Alrighty.
Have to
hop
do it
over the ditch. I'm gonna get on foot and we're gonna start chasing some cows out here.
They'll outrun you, I'll guarantee you that.
You think so?
Oh yeah. It doesn't drive very good with you guys sitting on the back.
We can hop off if you want.
Oh, you're okay. We're gonna go.
Let's hop off, Grandpa.
We're going to go through water here.
Matt, you might want to hop off.
Yeah, that way.
Okay.
Oh, we're going over. Alrighty, let's see.
Okay.
Here we got. Here, let me take that microphone.
Sure, you can take the microphone.
All right, let's go try to stay close so we can keep the Wi-Fi. We got to get that Starlink close to us. All right, everybody.
Okay, I'll stay close to you.
Out here. This is some thick grass. Let's see if I'm gonna go try to hop on the back of a cow. See if we can get close to one. How do we sneak attack one of these things, Grandpa?
I don't think we do it. They're all going.
They're scared of you.
I know.
You'll never get close to them, I guarantee you.
I'm not gonna get close.
No, you'll never get close to them.
What if you get out? Will they come say hi to the farmer?
What?
What if you get off? Will they come say hi to you?
Oh no.
Really?
No, if we just sat here, they might get curious and come back. I don't know, but in order to get close, well, you're going to have to get in the corral where you can corner and trap it.
Let's see how. What if I come from around the back on it? I just want to. Whoa! I just want to try to smack the back of one of them. If we can get close enough. I'm pretty fast. How fast do cows get running, Grandpa?
How fast what?
How fast can a cow run? Like 12 miles an hour?
Oh, that's about 20 miles an hour.
Really?
Full speed.
Yeah, we did a members only live stream yesterday with my grandpa, and people loved it so much I said, well, let's just bring him on the main channel. Every weekend we do member only live streams for those that want to support the channel. It's $5 a month. And so I try to do like certain little different things every single weekend. But I was out here in Idaho, I said, well, let's just go get Grandpa. These ones right here. All right, these are my ones. Here we go. Woo, woo, woo. These things are fast. Maybe we're gonna get them back to the corral if we keep pushing them this way. Oh, Matt got swamped in some poop. Nasty. There's cow poop everywhere.
Yeah.
Those Grandpa shoes?
I just found them down there.
Look at them starters, baby.
Yeah, those bad boys. Those are some farm
Those are
specials
some
from the
Idaho
80s.
specials. We actually might have a good chance of getting them if we get them, keep pushing them that way.
You'll never catch one unless you get it in the corral, I can guarantee you.
Let's get one in the corral. They're kind of hard to move, huh? There's too many of them.
They come up there and
Got
make
poop
swamp.
all over me now.
They come up there and make swamp.
So this is the farm. Yeah, someone says, is that Nick's brother? Yes, that is my brother. Here, we got him out here today. Oh, let's get Grandpa mic'd up again. Let's mic you up again. All right, there you go.
Okay. Looking for a place to cross the ditch at here.
I
There
remember
we
when I
go.
was little out here on these, there's so many of these ditches out here that my grandpa's built. But I was little, I was like probably 8 years old. My grandpa let me drive the four-wheeler around. I was like Mad Max out here. I think I crashed, how many of the four-wheelers did I crash out here? Probably 3 or 4. Every one that
I remember you running this deep ditch in the front of the four-wheeler went in, and you went flying over the top of the handlebars. I thought it killed you for a while. And then there's the day I was racing you in the pickup, and I got way ahead of you, and I turned in front of you and you run into the back wheel of the pickup. I thought about killed you that day too.
I remember that one.
Yeah, one time my grandpa literally almost chopped off my leg. We were racing. Over here we have these 2 barns right here. We were racing. He bought the grandkids a small little four-wheeler they could take out so they could come hang out with them on the farm. And I was racing my grandpa. We were both going straight. He starts churning. I keep going straight. And my four-wheeler gets caught underneath the truck. And I jump off the four-wheeler. And I jump off so fast. And this is how close I was from chopping off my leg. That I had a croc on. I jumped off. My croc got caught in between the four-wheeler and the truck. So if I didn't get my foot out within milliseconds, we would not be out here. I wouldn't even have a foot. My foot would be literally gone. Oh, now we're getting close back to him. I feel like that brown one might be it.
She's pretty.
Holy cow! Some of these things are massive.
That,
Just get close to them, Grandpa, so we can show how much.
that's
how
the
big
bull
they are.
in there. That,
Oh my God.
what do you say, Nick?
Just see how close you can get to them.
Okay, let's just sit here. They might come to us if we just sit here.
These things are massive.
That bull's huge. People ride those.
Right now, these cows are selling for $2,500 to $3,000 for a cow. The big bull in there, if you took him to the auction, he'd bring you around $4,000.
Really?
These little calves here, most of them will sell for $1,500 to $1,800.
How long does it take for a calf to get as big as a mom?
About 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
About a year and a half actually. They'll. By the time the calf is 9 months old, it'll weigh 700 to 800 pounds. So they grow pretty good. Nursing a cow like this calf is right here, it'll grow 2 pounds a day, 2.5 pounds a day.
And how much does it cost to keep them, and how much profit can one make? Somebody says.
That's a variable. I mean, depends all on the market, the time of the year. I've made on the average about $500 a calf on some years, but when the market's poor, you're lucky to make $100. But right now, it's with the market as high as it is, you can make $500 on a calf if you're lucky enough to buy it right, market it right, and everything else.
So to make big money in this, you'd have to have like a couple thousand cows.
Well, you know, to make big money, you have to have a couple hundred cows anyway. You know, a couple hundred cows at, $500. That's quite a bit of money, actually.
Yeah. And do you do this more so to make money or to stay entertained these days, Grandpa?
It's mainly to have something to do. I just find that you feel better if you got something that makes you get out and work and do things. If you got live things relying on you, like the cows rely on me for their feed, their water, I can't sit in the house all day. I got to get out and take care of them, make sure they're getting their feed, their water. So cattle help keep me healthy. I believe that.
And do you feel like you're the best in shape 90-year-old in the nation right now, Grandpa?
No, I don't exercise. I don't do anything. I just work. And there's other 90-year-old guys that are in better shape than me, I'm sure. But I have good health. I'm very blessed, you know, to have the kind of health I've got.
And my grandpa, yesterday when we did the live stream, he said, I got to go make sure I put my Trump hat on so that people know I'm not a liberal. He's got the Trump and JD hat on.
Yeah, I like the properties, the policies that Trump is initiating for our nation. I wish his personality was different than it is, but you can't have both, I guess. But his policies, I think, are very good for our nation right now to bring us back to normal thinking, to think logically about things.
Let's see, we got this cow right here. Gosh, they keep backing up as soon as they get close.
They make him into hamburger and bologna usually. Yeah.
I'm trying to smack one of these cows in the butt. Try to hop on top of one of them. They just keep running as soon as we get close to them. This one's milking its calf right there.
Yeah, that calf is nursing really good.
And so the baby ones are worth about $500?
Oh, the baby ones are worth about $1,500.
Really?
Yeah.
And the big bulls?
The big bull, he's worth about $4,000.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna stay on your hip right here and see.
Watch that calf go after that cow for dinner. Man, he's hungry for milk.
Come to Papa.
Just
Here
go
we come.
slow. Go up really slow.
All right.
Stop and let them analyze you for a while.
Okay. All right, yes, we're getting
They
close.
got to decide you're not danger before they only run when they think you're dangerous to them.
Then I'm gonna sneak attack them. I'm gonna hop on top of one of them. Would they ever charge me, or would they just run?
They'll never charge you, no.
All right, so we have nothing to fear. They're not going to charge us. Oh, we're getting close to these ones. Oh my gosh, we're getting close. These things are massive. little calf. We got the freaking papa right here. This one is huge, Grandpa. Holy shiz. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going after this one right here. It says Muir 3.
Okay, go for it.
Ready? I'm gonna spank your butt. Your mark, set, go! I got close to that one. Dang it. Barely missed that one. Good thing about cows, they're so dumb, they'll forget about 5 minutes if you can do it back again.
Those cows run like the gazelles in the African film.
I know, it feels like we're in Africa right now with all this high grass right here. I almost got close to that one.
Yeah.
I was like this close.
I thought he was going to get close enough to touch it for a minute. And then
I should have went when it was scratching itself.
Yeah.
What's the memory term of these cows? Is it like 5 minutes and they reset?
Do what?
What's the memory life of these cows? Like 5
pretty,
minutes and it resets or what?
Oh, I don't have any idea. I mean, they can be trained to do, they can be trained to come into the barns, get grain. They have a pretty long memory reset for things they like, you know.
Really?
Oh yeah, they'll remember you feeding them grain. They'll come running after weeks of feeding them, you know, without being without it.
All right, let's go up to them one more time. We'll do that sneak attack method like we just did.
Okay.
And after that, we'll go back up to the barn. We'll show people
Okay.
what you got in the barn. We'll take some questions from the people here in the
Okay.
chat. Gosh, I was close. Somebody says, Google says their memory life is 48 days.
Well, that could be. I don't have any information on that, so I don't really know.
This pup is spanking the cow. That M17 right there, that's a big one.
I don't know. We got them scared now. I don't know.
Someone says, your grandfather is a true American.
Oh yeah.
Grandpa, what does it mean to you to be an American?
I think to me, I'm very blessed. I can think of nothing more blessed than to be an American when it comes to nationality. You know, the other countries have a lot of really nice things, and they have a lot of rights, but there's something really special and unique about America that other countries don't have. The attitude of the people, the do-it-yourself attitude of the true American. I feel really bad when I see these people trying to...
Got a ditch right here.
There's a crossing here I'm looking for. Well, the cows are all looping back. We might not have to cross. They're going to go back up to the corral maybe, huh?
Oh, let's go.
And we'll just follow the cows. We won't have to cross the ditch. Look at that, man. We left the gate open, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, we might have cows in the yard for you to get back. I don't know.
Will they just go back then? Do you have to herd them back?
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just kind of let them go their way, and we'll go through the gate over here, and maybe someone will go into the corral, and then we can catch one.
Oh, let's go. All right. Do some cow riding. Oh, we left the gate open. We left the gate open. Cows might be going through
They'll stop and lick the salt, and we'll come in from the other direction. So okay, watch it out. They're a little bit rough here.
Alrighty.
Yeah, the cows they're heading for high ground.
Let's go. The cows are going towards the corral right now.
I don't know if they'll go to it, but we'll go off the other direction. Maybe that'll make them go up there and lick some salt.
For people wondering right now, we're in Idaho. This is sweet Idaho. No pollution out here. It's great living. Right, Grandpa?
Right. They didn't know Idaho was so beautiful, did they?
No. Slept on Idaho.
Yeah, the areas of Idaho that has irrigation, Idaho's kind of a high desert type geography, and where they have irrigation,
going in the corral.
where they have irrigation, it's pretty green. You know, the modern equipment has leveled the ground, and it's looking really good. We'll.
Uh-oh, the cows are getting out of the gate.
That's okay. We'll let them go. That's what we want them to do, actually.
Awesome. Feel my eye.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, I figured today we'll do something a little different. Usually we're out showing you guys.
There's an electric fence
interview
here.
people out on the streets, but I feel like today
Undo
is a
the
good
bottom
opportunity
wire
to take
first and
advantage
just
of
drop
being
it
out
on the
grandpa
ground.
And come out here
And
into the
then
farm and show you
we'll-
guys a little
we'll
bit
drive
more
through
of
and you
that
can hook it
rural
back up.
lifestyle out here in the U.S. Show that there's some sanity in the U.S. Even though the news is always just showing the crazy stuff. And sometimes I'm part of that when I go to these places. You see the craziness
Yeah, we'll just drive over it. Do it back up, top one
that
first.
happens in the world, but there's also some freaking American legends living out here in the U.S., whether it be in Idaho, Wyoming, upstate New York, New York City. They're everywhere, so I figured we gotta take advantage of being with the gem of the man my grandpa is, hanging out with him, show you guys a little bit more his lifestyle, places I used to come when I was growing up, and some of the influence.
I don't know if any of them will go in the corral or not. They look like they're going around the corral to me.
Yeah, someone did. That's very true. People are saying this is the most peaceful stream of all time. Hey, thank you very much. It's Chihuahua's World for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Every weekend I do a members only live stream. Oh, we got some cows in the corral. All right, here we go.
Oh,
yes,
we got
a
one.
baby one in the corral.
Pull the gate shut right here.
What one?
This one right here.
Oh,
Undo it over there.
okay, what can I do? Oh my gosh. All right. Grandpa, come over here because you're mic'd up. Someone says Nick has no idea what to do on a farm. Yeah, that's right. But just come here for the weekends.
I tell you what, I'm betting on the calf.
What do I do, Grandpa?
You try to keep from getting hurt.
Holy.
It'll knock you down. They weigh about twice what you do. That's about a 300-pound calf.
If I hop on top of it, will it let me ride it?
It won't matter if you get close enough to get on it.
Hey. Oh. It's running right into this dang pole. Oh, shoot. Hey! Holy. Oh! All right, you gotta lock this one. Someone in the chat says I have no idea what to do on a farm, and they're dang right. All right, let's see what we can do here. Simmer down.
Shut that gate there. Put the chain on it.
Okay, settle down. Settle down. Just chill out. Oh. Hey, simmer down. Oh, look at this huge one we got coming up here. Hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wear it out. Oh, here we go. We're getting close.
Hello?
Hey, where's
We got Grandpa on the phone right now.
See if I can come see you guys.
You bet.
All right, you guys.
Alrighty.
What are the people saying in the chat? What should I do?
5-10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
That's mean. Sounds like Bobby Hill.
What, you guys? Give me some advice.
Go grab the tail and
Give me some advice. I don't need critique. I need some advice out here.
See, if I was working, I'd run it up in that alley there, and then you get close to it.
Woo! Faked it. Okay, we got our hand on it at least.
What alley, Grandpa?
There's an alley where they shoot
This
them through.
is the mother to it
But
right
it's
here.
getting tired. I can hop on it in just a sec, I think.
Dude, that thing is solid.
Yeah, this thing is.
I should have hopped on it when it came down.
Or what if that's what I do? I sit. What if that's what I do? I sit, wait, and then when it gets close on here, I hop on.
Chase it over to you, and you hop on it.
Yeah, what? No, here, watch. I'm gonna stay right here,
Cowboy.
and then I'm gonna hop on.
Okay, ready?
Like a,
I'm gonna run it over.
I'm like a bull rider out here. Okay, Matt's gonna move the cow over, and I'm gonna hop on it right here. All right, get over here. Okay, that might be the strategy.
That'll work.
All right. Okay, here we go. This is an abuse, right, Grandpa?
No, it's
For anybody watching, this is all fair play out here on the farm, right? Okay, here we go. Whoa. Whoa.
I'll hug it closer to the
Okay,
gate.
yeah. Okay, here we go, everybody. Oh, here it is. Oh, shoot. Oh,
Nick, I got
that was it.
perfect.
It scared me
was
because
it.
it looked like it was coming right after me.
Stop for a minute.
It stopped right for me. Okay, last one.
No, you gotta do it. Oh, shoot.
Here, we gotta get back over here.
People are saying this is animal abuse.
No, this ain't.
You're gonna get complaints on this, and they say this is animal abuse.
This ain't animal abuse. This is just what you do when you have a farm, right, Grandpa?
Yeah, part of farm life.
Part of farm life.
People aren't liking it.
Here we go. Okay, last one. Well, then we're letting it back out. All right, here we go. Oh, here it is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wasn't gonna drop on the head.
You gotta try to drop on its head, on its shoulder, front
Okay,
shoulders.
Yeah. All right, that was it, you guys. Look, I had it right there. Okay, last one. I'm trying to, if I ride for longer than 6 seconds, I'm applying for the rodeo. Oh. Okay, we gotta get it coming this way, like last time. All right, this is it right here. Oh, okay, here it is. We're on it. That was sick. It was like, now I just gotta like grab his neck or something. Okay, you guys, I did get the whole butt on. I think we can get it this time. All right. This time I'm just gonna like sit down and put my weight forward, and we'll see if we can like ride it for like 2 seconds.
Guy says at least you teabagged it.
Someone says at least I teabagged
At
it.
least you teabagged it. Come here, cow.
All right, last one. The cow's getting a little tired, so. All right, last one. We had it perfect last time. All right, we're getting it right here. All right, here we go. Oh, this is it right here. Here we go. Oh. Alrighty, it's coming. Okay, here it is. Oh, slow down, cow. Oh, dang it.
You gotta go earlier.
I know, I just don't want to drop on its head and get.
Oh, I think
Oh,
you
okay.
got something to go ahead.
Okay, Grandpa's entering into the corral.
Okay, get down in the corner where it stands around. Get further closer to the corner. Yeah, stand about. Come on, Caffy.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, Caff. Come on. Okay, let him go right. Let him go in the corner. Now you get up on the pole fence.
This one?
Yeah. We'll get him back in that corner where he likes to try to
Now we
resist
got
turning
Grandpa
around.
Shirley in here.
And while he's trying to figure out to turn around, Nick can just drop down on him. Get up on the fence. There you go.
This is some real bull riding.
So strong.
This ain't even bull riding, this is cow riding.
I'll hop on right over here.
Look at my 90-year-old grandpa out here herding this cow. Okay. Oh. Bro, these cows are
Well,
tough.
maybe you better come back this way a little ways.
Yeah, well, I think our last technique was working pretty well. I just got to execute. All right, ready? Watch. Hey, simmer down. We're friends. Oh, shoot. Ooh, ooh. You almost stepped on your phone. That was it right there. I just gotta have some balls and hop on. Yep, that's what we're doing. Simmer down. Simmer down. We're buddies. We're buddies. We can be friends. We're friends. All right, here it is. Here it is. Gosh, okay, you guys. I'm sorry. This is gonna be our last step.
You gotta grab by up by the neck and get on its like front shoulder.
Okay.
Can't hop on it. But
Yeah. Oh, dang it. Bro, it keeps spraying its pee everywhere.
gotta get wet.
I'm gonna have to get wet right now, boys. Simmer down, simmer down. We're friends, we're friends, we're friends. Oh, we're riding it! We're riding it! Oh, you really? Oh, that was a good one. Give me some.
You made it.
You guys, I can probably do it for like a couple more seconds. I was freaking out. That was good. We were on top of it. Me and him are becoming friends now. Come back. Oh, just stepped on me. Ouch.
It hurt your ankle?
Yeah, but we're all right. We're cowboy tough out here. Even though I'm hollering like a little girl. Ow, that thing freaking stepped on me. All right, last one, and I think me and the cow both need some water. Yeah, you can try to give it a little ride too. Easy, cow. That's your master. These cows are tough. Okay. Ooh, jeez, bro. It just hit those railroad ties. All right, last one. The other one was good. Hey, simmer down, simmer down.
Okay, fold it in this corner here.
Okay. Yeah, right here, we're good. Whoa, right here, we're good. It's running too close to those railroad ties. It's gonna chop my leg off. All right, right here. That one started bucking. I was on it for like 3 seconds. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good.
We'll open that panel up there.
All right, cow. Thank you for your time. Everyone here in the chat appreciates you. Big loves to the cow.
Nick, open that panel up there and just let him go out there.
We did it.
Okay, go
hopped on
scare him out now.
All right. That was a good time. Come on, cow. We're setting you free, boy. Good work, team.
Now shut that and put the chain on it.
Okay.
Oh, that was funny.
You'll probably get some complaints from animal abuse people though. Chain that one, would you?
Yeah, Grandpa, but sir, tell the chat that we weren't abusing any animals. We were just having fun on the farm, right?
No,
I was loving it.
Addressing
it was fun. It was all good and fun, you know. It's the calf was excited. The calf was nervous because it's away from its mama, but it's a young calf and it didn't get hurt. And it didn't get hurt at all. It's got a little anxiety to it, but that's about all.
About all.
It'll go back, get with his mother. And,
So look, it's already walking away happy.
yeah, it's okay.
Awesome.
No damage to the calf.
No damage to the calf. That
No,
was crazy.
no emotional stress will carry over.
Yeah. Wow, 'cause I mean,
Okay.
that was a good time right there.
Well, I hope your viewers liked it. You know, you got to understand these cattle have not had people close to them, and they're almost like a wild animal. And in order to work them, you have to get them into corral and take their rights away from them in order to brand them, doctor them, everything else. I mean, it looked a little harsh maybe to some of you, but there was nothing done there that hurt the animal at all.
Yes, sir. That was some good old country fun, people in the chat are saying.
Yeah.
Let's go show them some of your other creations here on the barn. We'll do a little Q&A session. Grandpa's got 90 years of wisdom to drop. So Got
Okay.
lots of things to say. Let me hop on real quick.
You on?
Yeah, I'm on. So everything you guys are seeing, my grandpa's hand built with his hands, these corrals, everything like that. He designed them so it could be a one-man job. So for instance, you see this chute right here? Everything funnels into this chute right here.
What are they doing over there?
I'm gonna have to apply for the rodeo after that one, Grandpa.
Yeah.
I was yelling a little too loud, but
You ought to subscribe to the local rodeo to ride a
to ride a real bull,
real one.
that'd be crazy.
You want to shut the gate so
Yeah, I got it. Shutting the gate right now.
Hello?
Hey, Bruce, can you come unlock the front door for me?
Yeah, I'm out to the corral. I'll be there in just a minute. Or you go in the back door.
Lily to open the door for me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All the farm equipment laid out here. What's all the farm equipment doing out here just laying out?
It's just parked there to when we need it. You know, it's just in storage, you might say, till we need it again. I've got to go in and open the door for the nurse to get in and take care of Lolita, so I'm going to have to leave the video for just a couple minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
You gotta keep the four-wheel out underneath. Keep it outside. Keep it outside. Keep it outside. Perfect. Or else we're gonna lose the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I'll take that microphone.
Yeah, you can take a microphone.
Oh, hit the brake.
Okay.
All right, my grandpa's gotta go check on my grandma right now. Yeah, let me flip the camera. I'll answer some of your guys' questions. Hey, thank you very much. Cheers from Argentina. Millet Trump. Should I come to Argentina? Thank you very much. Dion Vera, thank you for the stream, Nick. Yes, farm life is living good out here. We're having a good time, honestly. It's been a nice little break from the big cities of America, going across the country. Hung out for a few days for the 4th of July. I was with the fam. I really want to do a live stream during the 4th of July, but I just decided it might be better to take some time with the family, because it's been a crazy past couple of weeks, if you guys have seen here on the channel. And I'm about to start ramping it back up this weekend. So, well, it's good, Dax. And I'm about to start ramping it back up this weekend. So, I think we're going to some other countries this weekend. Right now, I'm in Idaho, at my grandpa's farm. For people wondering where we're at, we just rode a cow. That was kind of interesting. And then here, I'll show you guys a little bit more. So I gotta stay kind of close to the four-wheeler because it's got the Starlink on it right now. But we got 2 barns right here. My grandpa's got a tractor right there. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he's got like 6 tractors out here. I'm not sure if they even still run or anything like that. He's got a pet cemetery that converted into a cemetery for like our family members and whatnot, as far as like just like a memorial spot for some of our family members. And then he's got the main homestead right here, the house. But he's got around 100 acres out here, about 40 cattle out here. He got a 4-wheeler. You can do whatever you want out here. Yeah, my grandpa's great, and he's gonna drop some wisdom bombs pretty soon. He had to go check in on my grandma, because my grandma right now, she's like 75, and she's on hospice right now, so she's not doing too good. So the crazy thing about my grandpa is he's 90 years old. He's got the energy of like a 19-year-old. Sometimes he's got even more energy than me. He takes care of my grandma, and he also takes care of the farm. Should we go show him a little bit more inside the farm real quick?
Sure.
And then we'll go out to the front, or let's go show him the entryway to the huge horses that you got out there.
Okay.
And then we'll go over there, and then we'll finish with some Q&As, and we'll have to take some questions from some of the people. I'll show you guys the entryway. My grandpa has a soft spot. Let's get this clipped onto him. All right,
Okay.
there, it's clipped on. How's grandma doing?
Okay, I had to let the nurse's aide in to help her. She's already in there now, so
Oh, good.
everything's going good.
We'll take some of the questions in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to show you guys a few more stuff here around the farm. So this is the entryway, and Grandpa's got a good analogy for you guys about these horses right here.
Okay. I wonder what's going on up here with
We got a traffic jam out here on the highway.
There's a big fire going there. I don't know what it is.
Oh, someone's car caught on fire out here.
There's a fire engine up there and everything else, and the cars are all stopped. We live right alongside of a 4-lane highway. It's Highway 20 through Idaho. And evidently there's an accident up here, a car caught on fire or something. And years ago we decided we wanted to maybe subdivide our farm for the kids when they got to the age, because none of my kids are interested in running the farm. They all making good livings off the farm. And so we designed an equestrian estate that we have made up. And so these horses were bought to be used as advertisement representing the equestrian estate. And I get kind of a bang out of it. You know, there's a common saying that, you know, sometimes...
Let's move it. Let's hop off right here so you can talk. You gotta, wait, hold up. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. This is a good analogy. You gotta step off. This is a good analogy my grandpa's got for everybody.
Okay.
And this is my dad's dad, not Brooker Key's dad. He is also a legend. My other grandpa.
You know,
all right, my grandpa's got a good analogy for you guys right here. Tell them the analogy about these horses right here.
Well, as you go through life, there's an analogy that, you know, sometimes you're the bird, sometimes you're a statue. Look at this horse right here. He's a perfect example of being the statue. The birds have really dressed him up good. So when life is bad, you might be the statue. When you're on a high, you're the bird, okay? That's, I mean, I kind of get a bang out seeing what the birds did to it.
You guys get it? Here, I'll walk over here. Show 'em. So sometimes in life, you're the one getting pooped on. Other times, you're the one soaring high in the sky. Sometimes you're the statue. All right, let's see. Everything, like I said, everything here on this farm has been handmade with the hands of my grandpa, including the mailbox right here.
You know, I make all my bird houses, and a lot of them bird houses with this same roof design. And this is my mailbox. It's one of a kind. I put one of my bird houses out here just to show what to do, and a bird has nested in here for the last 2 years. I think it's nested and gone for this year. But I've designed it so you can open it up and clean the bird's nest out.
Oh, wow.
And see, there's the bird's nest in there. Oh yeah, see, oh. Oh, there's a dead bird in there for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway,
Grandpa, do you know who Hank Hill is?
Who is?
Hank Hill.
Hank Hill?
Oh.
Oh. Don't show that.
Yeah. Do you know who Hank Hill is?
No.
Oh, they're saying you remind people of Hank Hill.
I don't know who Hank Hill is.
Let's go. Let's
Well, I feel bad about that.
Do you want to do anything about it? Or is there anything to do?
I've destroyed the nest and everything, so I thought it was abandoned. No bird came out with us, let it go.
Okay.
But here, we have our flagpole. Today the flag's flying at half-mast. It's in response to a request by our governor, Governor Little. And it's flying at half-mast because of the 2 firefighters that was gunned down in northern Idaho by some nutbag that wanted to demonstrate against firefighters. And 2 of our firefighters were killed, and so the flag's flying at half-mast until the governor tells us that sufficient time has passed to let it fly at full mast again. Mm-hmm. We're very American in our thinking, and we fly the flag 365 days a year. We don't just fly it on holidays. Sometimes the flag gets a little bit worn looking, but I try to keep it looking fairly decent anyway.
Yeah.
Represent our country properly.
Perfect.
Oh.
Let's go take them into the barn over there.
Yeah. And
So this is the replica of the big barn, right?
Right. It's a replica of the big barn, and we designed our own house. We didn't build it, but we designed our own house. I don't know. Maybe you'll take a shot of the fireplace in there. I don't know. That's quite unique. Maybe.
That is unique.
But we'll go out to see the other barns.
Yeah, that bird nest, you guys, for reference, the bird was dead inside that bird nest, so clean it out so another bird can come in for everybody out there inside the chat wondering what was happening. But yeah, there's that bird nest. There's a dead bird in there, so cleaning out the nest so a new bird can come in, take new home. All right, we're gonna go show you guys inside of my grandpa's office, and then we're gonna do a little Q&A session for about 10 minutes. Take all of your guys' questions. Grandpa's got some sharp wisdom to share with everybody. Yeah, get this close to the building so the Wi-Fi stays in. That's probably good right there.
I can get closer if you want.
Yeah, maybe just put it up right against it.
Is that good?
Yeah. Grandpa, what did you think about the big, beautiful bill?
I like the aspect that it's going to allow Trump to do the things, keep the promises he made in his campaign to be president. I am a little nervous about the add to the national debt down the road, but then if Trump's programs work, the increase in the GOP of the nation ought to be good enough to offset it. So I think we ought to sit back and give it a chance to work. I can't say I'm critical of it, but I can see that there could be a point where it could have a downside to it. Right now, I'm willing to give it a chance.
How do you feel like Trump's done in these past about 6 or 7 months at this point now? 6 or 8 months.
Trump has been on a roll. I mean, he's an unusual man to be able to make everything happen. He's surrounded himself with some very unique people who think and act like he does, who believe in his style of governing. And it's allowed him to be very successful, really.
Welcome into the inside of my grandpa's shop. This is where he comes in and does all the paperwork and does all the math for the cattle. Make sure he stays profitable out here. You can see he's got his protractors out here. He's got his pens. Got also some artwork, some photos. This is my grandma right here. She's on the horse.
That's my mother. That's my mother and dad right there, and that's my family with all my siblings, my brothers and sisters. You can tell I just like horse things. I've had a love for horses my whole life, and I kind of cater to things that represent horse activity and the horse's style of living.
Before you pull this out, my grandpa is one of the biggest collectors in America of what are called painted ponies. What's a painted pony, Grandpa?
Well, I was through the Phoenix airport one day and I see these beautiful painted horses, and I stopped and looked at them, and it was called the painted ponies. And the gentleman that designed them was over in France, went into an ancient cave and see horses etched on the wall from hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago, and he realized that the horse was a living icon. You know, everybody's loved the horse about as long as the horse has ever existed. So he thought he ought to be able to make something that would kind of eulogize and keep the horse interest alive. He had an artist's background, so he come back and designed a horse and painted it. And then he started making miniature statues of it. The original horse was a full-size statue of a horse, and then he got a company to start making the miniature statues of it. And he had painters all around the United States to paint these horses, some of them in foreign countries. This horse here is called Crystal. It's painted by an artist in Russia. And it's a beautiful horse. It's decorated up with a little crystal on its forehead. And each horse has got a story behind it as to why they picked that name.
So all these horses are hand painted.
Yeah, they're all hand painted.
And you have about 250 of them, you said yesterday?
230 something was my final count when I quit collecting. I quit collecting because I had a disagreement with the people running the signed and numbered horses, the ones that were collector's items. I was collecting those, and I would always call in and request to be on the list. And they might have 250 of these horses that signed and numbered by the artist.
And how much does one of these horses run for?
Well,
because they vary, because it's like a sports card. Like some of them are painted by a certain artist, some of them have been painted certain ways. They have like some sort of grading level to them. How much does a good horse go for?
They have a variance in depending on how popular the horse is. When I started collecting, you could buy most of them for around $18, $20. And when I quit collecting them, it was costing you $60 to $75, about $50 to $75 for the horse. The signed and numbered ones was up around $150, $170. And so I collected quite a few of them. I've been very fortunate in some of them. I was in Cody, Wyoming one time, and I went in a store there, and they had a huge selection of these painted ponies. They had one that I had been unable to find other places, and it was called Wildfire. It was designed and painted by an artist from Mardi Gras who sang Wildfire, made that song popular. And she had bought up the mold for it and made it a scarce item. But the store was selling those things for $18. And so I bought 5 of them because some of my grandsons asked me to buy them one as a gift. And when it come time to give them the gift at Christmas time, they told me they didn't want it. They wanted something else. So I ended up with about 5 or 6 of these Wildfire horses that I bought for $18. I kept them for a couple years. I sold them for, I sold some of them for right close to $500. Because Mardi Gras had bought up the mold, they become scarce item. I traded some of them for other horses that were very scarce. I traded one for a painting of the Phoenix pony, which was one that the Phoenix, Arizona Fire Department bought up the mold for. Made it very scarce. It was selling for around $500 to $600. I just traded one of my $18 ponies and got them. So
wow,
I've been fortunate in some ways.
You've turned a pretty good. You've done pretty well on these horses.
If you go online, you can look up the painted pony collections, and they'll price out what they're being sold for on the market. Most of them being sold, the ones that are not too popular, you can still buy them for maybe $50, but most of them are selling for around $150 to $300-400.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
So I've still got, you can see here, I've still got a couple hundred boxes of
yeah, look at all these boxes you got,
ponies. And,
holy cow.
I probably should have pulled some more out and showed to you, but this gives you an idea of what they're like.
Yeah, it gives you a perfect idea of what it's like. And look here, I remember I made this for my grandpa back in the day. Put my initials, my dad's initial and his initial on here. Let's see. Yeah, as a kid, we'd come out here every summer, and every single summer we'd have a different project. Remember one summer, it was to help build the barn. Another time we built a clubhouse out there. Other one was to build this chicken coop you can see right here. Other one was to build that pet cemetery that turned into a memorial for my aunt that died. And so every summer there was something going on. One summer we learned how to dehydrate fruit, all that good stuff. Let's go outside and let's go take some answers, and we'll have Grandpa Shirley share some wisdom bombs out here.
So let's show them the pet tombstones.
Oh yeah, it's the. So look, this is the workshop in here.
Throughout my life,
what do you think? Let's see. Do we got any drinks in here, Grandpa?
Got what?
Got any drinks in here? Oh, we got the Mountain Dews.
Got some Mountain Dew. Yeah, I'm a Mountain Dew drinker.
How many Mountain Dews a day do you drink, Grandpa?
I try to keep it to 2 or 3. I'm told that if you drink more than 2 soda pops a day, it's hard on the kidneys. So I used to drink 5 or 6, but when I found out it was hard on the kidneys, I try to keep it down to 2 a day.
2 a day?
But I find I break it once in a while.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab myself a Mountain Dew as well.
I've been a kind of an individual that I have always liked things that are live. You know, I like things that have a life to it, and so I've had a lot of pets in my life. I'm not a person that likes pets in the house, but I like pets that are outdoors. So the dogs I have had in my life have been outdoor dogs, but I've been particularly fond of horses and dogs. And as I got older in life, I wanted to respect some of those horses and dogs that I had. Twister was the first horse that I ever got. I had him trained to where he'd lay down. I'd go out in the pasture and we'd run together. I would have him lay down and I'd lay on him and watch the stars at night. And it was a fun thing to have. Suki's a dog for one of my daughters. Harley is a dog for one of my daughters. Dusty's probably my favorite horse. I bought him in Arizona. I had him shipped up here to Idaho. And he was the smartest horse I ever owned. You'd only had to do a thing with him a time or two and he knew what you wanted. Very active horse. Bayshore Benny was a American saddle horse and very, very distinct and elite for this part of the country. People just marveled when they saw him. The sprinkler got some of the dogs a little bit. This is one of our little dogs that Nick's dad gave to me, and we liked him. Here's a dog. This is probably my favorite dog, Prince over here. He was given to me by my daughter who couldn't keep him any longer, and Prince and I become great friends. He used to greet me at the front where the horses are at. When I'd come home from work at night, he'd be out there standing waiting for me, and he would chase the car into the garage, and then we would spend a few minutes together. A great friend, Prince was.
My grandpa's got a soft spot in his heart for some horses and dogs. What makes you so attractive to attract? Like what makes you like horses so much?
I don't know. I just like the way horses move. I think they're beautiful the way they run and maneuver themselves. They're self-sufficient to care for. Basically, horses seldom get sick. You know, I mean, they get sick. Yeah, I mean, we have veterinarians for them, but
let's sit right here.
Anyway, I've always loved horses for some reason.
All right, now we got about 800, 900 people in here, so we're gonna do a Q&A with my grandpa right now while we got everybody in here. We want to do this live stream because, like I've said a few times in the stream, a lot of times I go across America, going to different countries and stuff. I always show you guys kind of the wild, the craziness of this world, but there's also a lot of great people like my grandpa himself, and I want to show you guys a little bit more of rural America and have a little bit more of a calmer stream today versus that craziness. What do you think when I'm getting attacked in New York City like that, Grandpa, in those kind of videos? What do you got to say to those protesters?
Well, I find it very interesting, the philosophy of the people in the United States. Our country was founded mainly from people from Europe, from England, from Scandinavia, and from Europe. What our country was started from those kind of people. And for a number of time, that society dominated what we had here in America. But our immigration was open to the world. And we've let some people come in that brought philosophies that are foreign to us, and it's changed the thinking of a lot of the people, particularly in the big cities. It seems like there's a culture in the big cities that is more liberal than what our founding fathers intended our country to be. A lot of people don't live the statement of President Kennedy when President Kennedy said, "Ask not what my country can do for me, but what I can do for my country." That philosophy doesn't exist in a lot of people anymore, but I believe it's still essential to what will save our country and make our country the kind of dream that we all want to live under.
Mm-hmm. And any words of someone right here, we're going to start answering some of your questions, and somebody here just did a donation, and they said, any words of encouragement for the people? We're going to get a lot of questions, so and there's going to be a ton of them coming through here in the chat. The chat's popping right now, so if you have a dire question you want to get answered, I hate to say this, but it might be best to put in a little super chat so that way we can see it pop up in the blue or yellow thing. But somebody says, by the name of RS70, any words of encouragement for the people, Grandpa?
Any words of encouragement for what?
Any words of encouragement for the people?
For the people?
Yeah, like for the people watching this, what would you say to somebody that's maybe down their luck right now?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's been my my philosophy and belief is that we create our own life. That's unique about America. We create our own life, and if you got a dream, just figure out how to make it happen and live for it. What makes me happy may not make you happy at all, but America allows you the right to live your dream and just work hard at it. I'm going to give you an example. My grandson Nick here, he has a dream, and he dedicates his life to it. I mean, he spends every waking hour thinking and working to what he wants his life to be. And when he comes up to see me, I'll start visiting with him, and all at once he's given me enough time. He's got to go take care of business, you know, get his videos out, take care of business that he has to take care of, and he's very, very focused on making his life what he wants it to be. And I think that's true for all of us. We can have a good life, or we can just have a so-so life. Depends on how much we want to sacrifice for it. And we don't know whether we've had a good life or a bad life until we get to be almost retirement age.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that's good because a lot of people, as far as like encouragement goes, like I think a lot of people get down on their luck, but I feel like if you have like a constant goal in place, like for me, I've always had that whiteboard in my room, or I've always had goals set, and so even if I am down on my luck, I still know that like I'm working towards a certain purpose. But when people don't really have much of a purpose or any goals, they can't really have anything to look forward to or anything to strive and try to go get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, there's a song out and it says, how can you make a dream come true if you don't have a dream? I mean, you dream something, you're the only one that can make it come true. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because some genie in a bottle sprinkles dust over you. That's all fairy tale stuff. You're the one that's going to make that dream come true, and it requires scheming and planting and some sacrifice. Nothing is worth having unless you sacrifice for it.
Mm-hmm. Chi-Town Bowls 5 says, are you a Chevy or Ford guy?
What?
Are you a Chevy or Ford guy? What cars do you like, Chevys or Fords?
My family's been traditionally a Ford family. My dad had Ford vehicles when I grew up with. I've owned probably more GMC vehicles than I have Ford, but I drive both. I just shop around and find out what I think is the best buy for my dollar, and I don't worry too much about the brand, your make, I guess I should say.
And Bali Sanchez gave you $2 for your Mountain Dew fund.
Well,
look at that smile you put on his face.
Mountain Dew's been my favorite drink.
One time I was in the car with my grandpa, and before 12 o'clock in the afternoon, he had 6 Mountain Dews.
Well, I used to never drink pop. I never drank pop till I was about 40 years old. And one time my son, I was making a long drive, and he told me to drink some Coke. I bought some Coke to stay awake, and I drank that Coke. It went down, and it came back up, and it went down, and it came back up for good. And so I thought, well, Coke's not for me. So he said, well, try Mountain Dew, because it's got a lot of caffeine, and it'll help keep you awake. So I tried Mountain Dew, and it worked. And I got myself addicted to Mountain Dew, I think, because it's I drink it a lot.
Thank you very much, Lisa RM. She said, thanks for sharing your stories, and thank you, Decoy, for the Mountain Dew. Another person gave you $20 named Decoy Voice. He's a good friend of mine. He said, for Mountain Dews in this economy, he gives you $20. Thank you, Decoy.
Oh, great, great.
And a question here is, what role has your faith or just your belief in God and in Jesus Christ played in your life, Grandpa? And like, what do you do to kind of, because a lot of the Christianity's these days, it feels like it's almost on the decline here in America with all these other ideologies and stuff that's coming across.
Yeah,
and you're a firm believer in.
That really sorrows me that our generation now is relying pretty solely upon the technology and science that's being exposed to us. Religion is a vital part of my life. I was raised in a religious family. I can remember my dad owned a dairy, and we'd go out early in the morning and milk the cows. When we'd come in for breakfast, my mother would have the kitchen chairs all turned around the table backwards, and we would kneel down at the chair and have a family prayer every morning to help us get started on our way. So religion became a very vital part of my life. My dad was a non-smoker, non-drinker, and one time he told me, he says, a cigarette has never touched my lips, nor has alcohol ever touched my lips. I was about 8 or 10 years old when he said that to me, and I said to myself, I'm going to make that my life also. And so here I am 90 years old, and I've never had a cigarette touch my lips. I've never had alcohol touch my lips. And it makes me feel good. I think it contributes to a better health and a better style of life. And not only that, but I pass that on to my son. I have a son that has the same goal and aspiration, and I think Nick made me the promise many years ago that he would never drink alcohol and smoke, and he tells me that he's honored that commitment, and here he is in his 20s, and unusual for a young man that age to be able to say that, I think.
Never touched, my lips never touched a can of beer or never tasted the taste of alcohol. I remember I actually made a handshake with my grandpa right here inside the barn, right here. I was about 16 to never drink, and I always remember watching this one guy on TV, and he said that if you can't honor a handshake, your words mean nothing. So the moment I shook that hand, it was locked for life. Never drink alcohol. So the question was, how's religion affected my life? My life is centered around religion. I told some on a video yesterday. I said, well, there's two things I'd die for. One is my country. One is my religion. I thought about that last night, and I said, no, that's wrong. There's three things I would die for. One is my family, one is my religion, and the other is my country. I love and honor them. I love and honor all three of them beyond words, really do. And when you think of those three things, I can see you kind of getting emotional right now. And why would you say that a life centered around family, faith, and your country are three things that one person should value the most?
Yeah, really, but my country is what makes it possible for the other two to happen. If my country was of another form of government, I may not be able to worship it the way I want. I may be forced to think a certain way. And we've had a lot of countries throughout the history of the world who's dictated to you how you will think about the hereafter, how you want to believe about what life's all about. That's not so in our country. We can have a wide variety of philosophies. Whether we want to think about the hereafter in one way or another, that's up to us. So there's no concrete information out on that. I mean, there are people supposedly that's died and gone the other side and come back, and they kind of help give some ideas, but a lot of people don't even believe in that. So that's what's unique about our country. We can form our own philosophy and feel comfortable in being with people who have a different philosophy than ours and still be their friend. I mean, I have friends that are not members of my faith. They think differently about things than I do, but they're still my friends, you know, and I love them and I honor them. I think every individual is unique in their own way, not only to us, but to our Father in heaven. All the chromosomes and everything that come together and make individuals into the hundreds and thousands, and none of us are the same. So even though we have somebody that is obnoxious to us, I've learned to enjoy them because there's nobody else like them, you know. And I say, hey, this person is one of God's miracles. I need to learn how to. I need to learn how to appreciate him and be his friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when you talk about that, I think that's like one of the things I've learned about my channel and what I do is I'm in a lot of ways like to show things as they really are in this world, to show people like, okay, this is what's happening. And when you talk to people like you realize like how grateful people like you are for the country. And so when you see these other people out here trying to destroy the core values of the country, it makes you want to fight for it even more, because you realize this, what you have, what I have, is not possible because of what our past ancestors did and the founding fathers and the sacrifices that, for instance, your family made just to get here in the United States 4 generations back. And if people are nowadays trying to destroy that, we're not going to have the same country that made it is what it is today. And so, like I watched a lot of other YouTubers during the election cycle and whatnot, and they would see the same stuff I was seeing, but they would never speak up and say, well, you guys should vote for Trump, or you should stand up and actually give an opinion, versus trying to stay like unbiased in a sense where they're not really being honest with their communities, because they're seeing the stuff that I'm still seeing, but they're not bold enough to take a stance on it.
Yeah, it's really bothered me over the last 20, 30 years. Supposedly our colleges are supposed to be the center of our higher education and make us be better than what we are. But yet a lot of those college campuses have denied the rights to people to free speech. I mean, unless you have a socialistic form, you're not allowed to have meetings on campus even, you know. If you have a speaker that's speaking for capitalism, they run them off campus. And that's wrong for our country. We need to let both sides express themselves, and we as a people are pretty good at understanding what right and wrong is. I've been told that the majority of the people will always choose right. There's a fraction that choose to go the other way because they see benefits, easier lifestyle, whatever it might be, you know, for them. But I think if we're given the opportunity to choose between good and bad, whether it be religion or social affairs or economic affairs, regardless of what it is, if we compare the two together, the majority of people will always come down on the right side. For our nation, we've got to make sure that a minority group doesn't get control to where that right is taken away from us, or we'll all be very unhappy in the end.
Yeah. What's for people that are joining right now, my grandpa's 90 years old. What's the key to being 90 years old? You're as sharp as any other 90-year-old, any other 50-year-old I know by that means, by grandpa. What's the key to being so sharp at such a ripe old age?
It might surprise you, but I don't listen to radio very much. I sit and think about things I want to do, about philosophies I've heard, but I do like to read every day. I don't read a lot, but every day I probably spend anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour and a half reading. Depends on how interested I am in the topic that I got. I generally read it when I go to bed, and when I start falling asleep and can't remember what I read in the last paragraph, I shut the book up and lay the magazine down, whatever it might be, and go to sleep. But I try to read every day and keep abreast of the current affairs. I think that tells us what's going on around us. It keeps us engaged in our local communities, in the communities of our state and our nation. Your mind has to be active. We can't let our mind be controlled by sitting down and watching sitcoms and things like that don't develop our mind at all, you know. We need to watch things that cause us to question whether we're being told, is that right or is that wrong? You can watch TV and you can watch one channel, they'll tell you something, and you watch another channel and you get almost exact opposite opinion, you know. So you have to kind of study things out. I think that there are benefits to eating healthy foods. I think that there are foods that are harmful for the brain, harmful for the kidneys. We need to stay away from them early in life so that we don't wake up as old people with problems in those areas. the secret to a healthy life is starting on it young before you got a problem. If you don't start living healthy till you got a problem, it's too late.
Too late. Every single day you're staying active. You run the whole entire farm all by yourself.
Right.
You take care of grandma who's on hospice right now, and every single day you're out doing something.
I owned an auction yard, a livestock auction yard at one time, and when I bought it, I went into the attorney, and the attorney was a lady attorney. And she said, now Bruce, if you're going to be successful in business, you've got to take care of business and hire people to do the work. Let them do the work, you take care of the business end of things. And I did that as best I could, as long as I owned the auction yard. But there's something in my DNA that makes me a do-it-yourself person. I just can't stand to sit back and let people do things that I know I can do better and watch them make mistakes and fumble around with things. For that reason, I do most everything myself. There's a lot of things I can't do, but you know, everything you see on this farm is designed, made, put together by me. I mean, yeah, I buy commercial things to make my ideas happen, but I do the muscle work myself.
And somebody here is wondering, what do you read at night?
I'm basically a history and a current events and sports person. I do not like fiction. I do not like comedy.
Any book you'd suggest to anybody? One book. You have one book to suggest somebody to read. What would you say?
Oh, for one book, I don't know. There's several books. I mean, I loved reading the Lewis and Clark because I like history. I like adventure. I loved following the Lewis and Clark book. I like the story of building of the Transcontinental Railroad. Both of those books were written by Ambrose, which is a very popular writer on historical things. I loved those books.
What about that O.G. Mandino book you gave me?
Well, yeah, there's one time in my life when I was having some emotional problems, and I needed some help. And I read a lot of things and nothing helped me. I picked up Og Mandino's book. He's a self-help writer, and I read the book, The Greatest Miracle on Earth. And I read the book once and I thought, man, this makes sense. I read it again and I said, well, that makes more sense than I thought it did the first time. I read it the third time and I took a pencil and a red pencil, and I highlighted every word in each chapter that helped me with my problem. I read that book 7 or 8 times, and it is the book that helped me understand that you have to love people who are different. You have to love people who don't think like you, because they are God's creation. They are God's miracle. I mean, I was having trouble with my wife at the time, and I mean, I was contemplating divorce. But when I read that book, it taught me that she's very unique. She's very beautiful in her own way, and I was able to start looking at that aspect. I started living for her instead of for myself, and we've had a beautiful marriage. I mean, I think highly of my wife. She's a unique person, one of a kind.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to take one more question from here in the chat, but I got a question for you, Grandpa, because I've always wanted to come out here and do some sort of video, but I've never really figured out what would be the best way to do it. So when I came out here this weekend, I figured this would probably be the best way to do something with my grandpa, so I always had their memory, and that way in the future, when I got grandkids and whatnot, and they're wondering who their grandpa was, I'm going to be like, well, you can go back and watch the live stream I did with Grandpa out on the farm. And what would you say to like future Nick, future myself, for instance, when you're not here and I'm 20 years down the road, I got my own kids, what would you kind of advice do you think you'd be giving me then?
That you should be giving to your kids?
No, so in 20 years from now, you're not going to be here. Hopefully I'll still be here if something doesn't happen to me. So 20 years from now, you won't be here, but I will be here, and hopefully I got a few Nick Shirley Juniors running around.
Okay.
What would be your advice to me in that stage of my life?
You know, if you want to influence your kids, you got to be their friend. And I'd look at you and your dad. That's why you and your dad are close, because your dad has been your friend ever since you were big enough to pick up out of the cradle.
Yeah.
And and you need to become your child's friend. I'm sad to say that hasn't always been the case in my life. I mean, I lived in harder times. I was doing 4 and 5 things at a time to make a living, and I neglected my family. Those that I got close to, I've had a beautiful relationship with. The 1 or 2 that might have got a little neglected, the relationship has kind of been a so-so relationship. But when you get close to them as a friend, you're able to share with them what you think has made life great for you, and they will incorporate it into their life. If you're not their friend, they'll say, well, so what? He doesn't know any more than my friend, and my friend tells me that he's wrong, so I'm going to follow my friend who doesn't really know anything against my dad. And you can't let that happen. You got to be friendly enough that your relationship with your kids is strong enough that your word, your say-so, your experience has more meaning to them than a friend who they barely know. So when Nick Shirley 20 years from now, you make sure that little kid that you brought into the world is unique to God, he's unique to you. You make sure he knows that you're his friend and you'll stand by him, whatever.
Amen to that. All right, we're gonna take one more question here in the chat, and while someone's typing up, we're gonna take the best question, and we'll take the best question, and then I'll ask you another question. So, for my grandkids, I'm never gonna get for my kids that will never get to meet Grandpa Shirley, what would you say to them, and who would you like them to know who you were?
There are people a lot smarter than me that said, unless you know history, you will make the same mistakes that people in back history's made. And that tells me that if you know the history, the genealogy of your people, that gives you a chance to understand what made them the way they are. In the genealogical history of my family, it all centers around their faith. From the time they were converted to the faith that I believe in and live, to the time they come to this country from wherever they heard that faith at, they sacrificed income. They even sacrificed the life of some of their offspring as they crossed the plains. And so my advice is that make sure that your great-grandkids, grandkids, great-grandkids are all in tune with what has made them what they are. They need to understand the sacrifice that their parents have made, their grandparents have made. I look at this farm I live on, look how beautiful it is. But you know, when my grandparents came here, it was sagebrush, full of gophers, full of jackrabbits. It was barren desert. And they built canals, they built roads. My history says my grandfather worked 4 weeks and was able to plant 26 acres of grain. You know how much time we could plant in 6 acres now? That's only a couple hours with the machinery, not even that. I mean, the ground can be prepared and it can be planted in a couple hours. It took him 4 weeks. I got to appreciate the sacrifice my ancestors made, and we hear it a lot, but there's too much of this entitled attitude in the younger generation. They think that they should have things without sacrificing, and anytime that happens, you're going to get civilization going downhill.
The last question people have for you before I got to go back home. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received in your life?
I don't know.
It's a hard one.
I wrote a history in my book. I'm not through with it, but I wrote some of the stories of my life and I've entitled it Lessons Learned. And I have an experience, and then I look at that experience and I analyze what was good or what was bad for me. And when I was about 30 years old, I was running some cattle. I didn't have very good facilities. And there was a neighbor man who worked for a livestock yard. He was a veterinarian, and I had some problems with some animals. It was the spring of the year, and I invited him to come down and look at my cattle and give me some advice. Well, my corrals had manure in them about 6-8 inches deep. This guy come down here in pretty decent clothes. He had on cowboy boots that had to cost him a fortune. And he come down there and he looked at my cattle. I didn't plan on him getting out in the corral. He got in the corral and he walked around out there in that cow manure. And when he got out, the manure stain on those nice new boots was above his ankles. And I started apologizing to him. I said, I apologize that my facilities are so poor and that the mess you have to work in. He looked at me, looked me right in the eye. He says, Bruce, it doesn't have to be this way unless you want it to be. That thought has haunted me for 60 years. And anytime I go out and I see that an irrigation ditch is not like I want it, that thought comes to me. It doesn't have to be this way unless I want it to be that way. I get to work and I fix it. I make it like I want it. And that's why everything I have is handmade by myself. I wanted a barn. I made it myself. I could have lived without one, but if we find ourselves in a situation we don't like, just tell ourselves, it doesn't have to be this way. And if you're not going to fix it, who's going to fix it? And if you're not going to fix it now, when are you going to fix it? There's motivational speakers that use that phrase all the time. If it's not fixed by me, who? If it's not fixed by me now, when? Now and when is when I do things for myself.
I like that.
I can't put the blame on anybody else. If I live in horrible conditions, it's because I've willed it upon myself. In the kind of country we live in, that doesn't have to be. That's why people want to immigrate here. They know that they can make their life better by doing it themselves now.
That's some wise advice right there. Well, Grandpa, I appreciate you so much, and I know that I guarantee you just inspired some people. I saw people all the way from Italy, Germany, Australia, and America here inside this chat today. So I thank you so much, Grandpa. I love you so much.
Just love your country wherever you're at and do all you can to make it better.
I think so much of you, Grandpa, and I really, might be my favorite man walking this planet.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have learned to respect.
You're definitely in the top 3.
Well,
between my dad, you, my other grandpa, and maybe there's a few room for a few other people.
You know, you're asked who your favorite grandchild is, and it's Nick. Unless I'm with Matt, then it's Matt. And if with Ryan, then it's Ryan. My favorite grandchild is whoever I'm with, because they're all super great.
Awesome, Grandpa. I love you so much.
Love
Thank you.
Love you.
Love this man right here.
Buddy.
He is the GOAT. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'm excited to have this live stream here on the channel for the rest of my life, so people can come back and look back and say, who helped raise Nick Shirley? I can say, this guy right here.
The old guy that didn't know anything.
No, the old guy that knew everything. All right, love y'all. Peace out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Have a great day, people.
Have a great day, and we'll see y'all very, very soon. Peace out.